From a Pacific base, the Franklin proceeded to sea and air battle and took part in a task force assault against Japan. Enemy planes attacked, and there's one with a wing ripped off, exploding in the air and plunging into the sea. Hundreds are destroyed, but one Jap is destined to get through, unlike that bomber with a wing shot off. Somewhere there's an enemy bomber, unlike that one blown up. There's a plane which, before it is shot down, will sneak out of a cloud and hit the Franklin. On board the carrier, a Navy cameraman films the bomb burst. The cameraman, knocked down, gets up, swings his camera, and now we see an epic of heroism. The crew fights fire on an exploding ship. When the enemy bombs hit, the deck was crowded with planes with full bomb loads, and these blow up. Tons of bombs and rockets burst into weird fireworks, and the ship is rocked by internal explosions. Hundreds killed by the devastating blasts. The survivors never flinch in their battle to save a ship that erupts like a volcano. Below, in explosion-racked engine rooms full of smoke, half full of water, they fight to save the ship, which seems doomed. To all save the men of the Franklin, it seems hopeless. From other ships, it looks as if the carrier cannot possibly be saved. Only the sturdiest ship could stay afloat for any length of time, ripped like that by constant detonations. Exploding gasoline bursting out in a fiery flood. Only the bravest of crews would battle on to save a ship blasted so violently by internal explosions that the ponderous platform of the elevator for the planes was blown into the air and crashed down in wreckage. To the cruiser Santa Fe, high honor is paid in the epic of the Franklin. She draws alongside, though endangered by the explosions aboard the carrier, coming to take off the injured and fight the fire. The Franklin is listing like a ship about to capsize and sink. Tons of water from the Santa Fe are poured into the burning carrier. Men trapped on the fantail of the Franklin, and the destroyer Hickok comes to make rescues. In an exploit of life-saving, ropes are thrown, a thrilling episode of the human drama of the Franklin. On the fantail, they've been cut off and are desperately imperiled by blasts of flame that sweep the ship, fire defying all the water they can throw. The wounded come first in the rescues. 832 lost, 270 injured, of a crew of 3,000. Chaplain Lieutenant Commander O'Callaghan, for heroism in ministering to the wounded and in fighting fire among bombs, is being recommended for the Congressional Medal of Honor. Injured taken off in the midst of fire and explosions. They know grimly what a desperate war is still to be won in the Pacific, and their suffering shames us at home if we fail to do our part, if we fail to help them with our money by buying bonds. Rescues of sailors trapped on the fantail as the fiery heat drives them off. But they've got a place of safety to jump to, although the jumps are high. The destroyer fights fire while making rescues, and the stubborn flames urge the trapped sailors to acrobatics. Some fall off, but are pulled aboard, and there's nimble climbing and swimming. Some come in on a raft, as the epic of the Franklin is featured by rescues. Franklin saved, though scarred by fire and explosion. The flight deck looks like a land battlefield devastated by shell fire. They've got the engines going, and the aircraft carrier proceeds under her own power. Seems a miracle. The ship that erupted like a volcano is navigating on her own back to the USA. Religious services of thanksgiving for the saving of the ship and in mournful commemoration of the brave men who were lost. Catholic Mass on one day and Protestant services on another as the Franklin is homeward bound. Through the Panama Canal, the carrier that appeared to be so certainly doomed makes the immense ocean voyage all the way from the coast of Japan to the harbor of New York. And there the Franklin, passing the Statue of Liberty, arrives, a hero ship. Her story, concealed by military censorship, is now released. The story of the carrier that came through one of the most terrifying adventures of any war. Honors are paid to the men of the Franklin. Aboard the carrier in dock at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, 114 officers and men are awarded Navy decorations. Vice Admiral Fitch presents the medals in the presence of the commander of the Franklin, Captain Garys, himself a hero of the epic of the aircraft carrier. Families and friends at one of the memorable military ceremonies of the war. All eyes are on the chaplain and the captain and on the battle-tattered flag of the Franklin.